Now the East is different, right? Just heard the news today. LeBron officially a Laker. He signed the deal today. The East has changed. I'm not sure it's gotten too much easier. How do you see it?
There's nothing easy in coaching. You're trying to win the next game. Winning a game is hard, and certainly winning a series is hard, and there's so many things that go into getting an opportunity to compete in the playoffs, let alone advance in the playoffs, that you have to start in day one. You can't skip steps. And if you do skip steps, the game will tell you, you'll be humbled very quickly. And so at the end of the day, there's a lot of good teams, there's a lot of good players, and it's about who plays the best. And, we did a lot of good things last year, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen again. You have to make it happen again, and that starts when we all get back together in training camp.
Alvaro, it's funny, when we were talking during the commercial, I talked to Brad, and I'm saying, well, we went through this guy, that guy, we forgetting anybody? And he goes, yeah, the same guy everybody always forgets.
Nobody ever talks about Al.
How about Al Horford? It's amazing.
Al's probably, I know this, Al's probably at home watching the game, enjoying time with his kids and his wife, and not caring one bit that he's not the first question asked by everybody. I just did a media scrum with Boston media, and we talked about all kinds of things, and not Al. And Al, but that's what's beautiful about him. And you talk about a guy he's the oldest player on our team, and you can't have a better leader because he's only cares about winning. That's the only thing that matters to him. It's why he plays. That's how he goes about his business. He sets a great example. I told Robert Williams, ultimately all you have to do is watch. And all you have to do is, and if you do that, you're going to be successful.
That assist number jumps out at me, 4.8 assists when he's with Boston. He's such a facilitator for you guys on offense.
He really is. We try to play through him quite a bit. And, he's one of these guys that I thought got ahead of the curve. As the game became more spread out and bigs were asked to do more, he changed his game by increasing his range in his late 20s. And that was a huge thing. And now, for us, he'll initiate offense. He can play off closeouts, and obviously he can shoot the ball. And teams are a lot less likely to give up those open shots to guys like Allen. So the ability to put the ball on the floor and pass the ball is critical.
He began to do that in Atlanta, but he said that in recruiting by Boston, one of the first things out of your mouth was, you really could facilitate starting our offense. And to him, it was like, oh, great, somebody sees what I see.
Well, it was interesting this year because we had, at one point in time, we had Smart, Larkin, and Kyrie out in January. And so all we had from a point guard standpoint was Terry Rozier. And so when Terry sat, Al ran the point. And, we played out of all kinds of just simple actions, but it was great because, he could bring the ball up. He's a great passer. He's a very unselfish player. He's good with getting you into offense, and so we've been fortunate enough to be able to have him do that. So.
And smart enough to realize what you had when you got him, and put him in situations that he could take advantage of. Go back with me. We got a minute left. Sitting here last year, he obviously was a heck of a player. We knew that from watching him in college. Jayson Tatum played extremely well here last year. Did you think he could do what he did this year?
I don't think it's our job as coaches to put ceilings on guys. At the same time, I think that when you consider the fact that he was 19 when the season started, 20 when it ended, and the consistency with which he played, and the way his game rose after January. A lot of times people hit a wall and stop and fade. He just kept getting better and better and better all the way through the playoffs. We've talked a lot about this summer with him, like this can't be the highlight though, and it's about going back to work and getting even better at some of the things you want to get better at, and getting stronger and working on some of those things that people are inevitably going to try to take away, because he's got a chance to be special. But special is not for everybody, and so but we think he certainly can be, and we believe in him.
You mentioned that the game exposes you if you're not ready. When do you take the time to plan and say, well, for next year, when do you do that? During the season?
I think you're always doing that, and PJ would attest to this. You don't have a plane flight where the pen and paper aren't out thinking about that. But I think I really lock into it when our roster's set. And so we know exactly what we have. Now, I thought that was the case last August, and it flipped on August 25th.
Everything goes out the window.
So then it goes out the window, all those pieces of paper.